I think my mom called the police on me because I snuck out of the house to go to a Jennifer Lopez night in West Hollywood at 14. I sure did. I couldn't miss it.
At what club?
I could not miss it. I won't say what club, but I'm gonna get in trouble. But
At 14!
So congratulations. There's so much love and care in this and so much like gravity behind it. And it's like a really big, splashy, incredible Hollywood spectacle with all this heart. Like, so you guys must be so thrilled to give it to the world. Let me start with Bill.
Sure.
Why, aside from the fact that it's, I mean, made for Miss Lopez. I can't imagine anybody else in the world being a Spider-Woman. And you've got this incredible up-and-comer too. Like, why this story and why now?
I think because, I went back and read the novel and couldn't believe that something that was written in 1976 was so current, And also, we're living in a time that is, a difficult moment, right? And that's not just now, it's been over the last few years. So it felt like there was an urgency to tell this story again. And also as a musical, it belonged as a movie, I think, it was wonderful on stage, but it was always something you'd look at and think, no, that should be a film.
Absolutely. And especially just the music is incredible. Right. And I think
Incredible.
The earlier film was so iconic in its way of being a drama that just to recontextualize all of it, especially again against the political unrest of the time, which might perhaps be sadly our future. It's incredible. I mean, how are you all feeling right now? Are you feeling optimistic? Are you feeling stressed? Are you feeling
Very excited.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about it. Obviously, there's always a bit of nervousness before a film comes out, and you put so much of your heart and soul into this. And this was an indie film. It was real labor of love for all of us.
Yeah.
And so, excited. I'm excited for people to see it. I am excited for people to experience Tona in a different way. I know they know him now from his Carry On fame.
okay, all right.
But also, he's an amazing singer and actor, and it's exciting. Diego for the first time.
Oh my gosh, Diego.
He's sang in other movies. He did a couple, but
Animated,
he was dancing and going totally out of his comfort
Oh my
zone
God,
too.
yes,
And for me, it was a dream come true. A dream come true. A role that I could have never hoped for in my whole life. And knowing that Chita Rivera did it on stage, and wanting to really live up to that. It was just, the songs are fantastic, and I think like Bill said, it's so relevant and to right now, and to be able to kind of put it out there right now is a real blessing, I think.
Absolutely. I know you personally campaigned for Kamala Harris, and that's what I sort of meant too. Like, how are you guys feeling about the state of the world?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's a really pivotal moment, right? And I think our film touches on a lot of the themes that the queer community, the Latin community is experiencing. Yeah. And so my hope is that when people watch it, they find a sense of solace and home, right? And we're fighting for something.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And hope and joy, but also like to remember that love does heal all divides.
Yep.
Yes.
And to me, that's what the movie is really about. It's like how these two very different people and humans in the world come together and are thrown into this situation and find the humanity in one another and fall in love. And to me, that is something really, really special and really that needs to be seen. It's just like we're all just human. And it's an important movie in that way, I think.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Speaking of you doing this independently, it does not seem like you sacrifice scale at all. And like Jennifer, to see you in these massive MGM sets, it's like you were honestly born to do.
I've been waiting my whole life to be able to do like a real big MGM Hollywood musical, and I finally got to do that. And
was it everything you hoped it would be?
more. It was more. I honestly, I was like, me and Diego were on set, and we were doing like Everyday Man in the dark room, and we're dancing around, and the music is swelling, and we're singing and looking at each other. We were just like, we don't ever want to do anything else but musicals.
Yeah.
Diego said that, and I said, me too. I don't want to do anything else. But yeah, it was
I love
phenomenal.
What Stevie said once, Jennifer doesn't like to smile a lot when she sings. And suddenly, during the movie, it's like you couldn't stop smiling.
Yeah.
So happy.
It was so
I know.
He
wonderful.
said that? That's
He
amazing.
did.
Oh my God, I don't even notice that. No, I just,
No, I mean,
But these songs, how do you not?
Yeah.
I mean, I had 10 musical numbers
Yeah.
that I did, and each of these songs were so different. They were really different songs, every single one of them. And it was just a joy. It was just like, gosh, I don't even know. I can't find enough words to describe the feeling of being able to do the Kander and Ebb songs.
Yeah.
You know, but you said it's kind of a trilogy from Chicago,
Cabaret, yeah.
Cabaret,
And
and
Roar, yeah.
now and Kiss of the Spider Woman, and it's just, I mean, it was a privilege
I mean, they
and an
transport
honor
you.
to
Yeah.
do it.
They transport you. I mean, like a visit even when we did our table read was one of those moments where like I was like, oh, we're doing it, and we just locked in.
Yeah.
And
But that was the fun part, right?
It was
Like, okay, are we
amazing.
singing right now?
Oh,
I'm
we sang.
I'm
No,
gonna sing.
the second you did that, I was like, I took off my glasses, moved over my iPad. I was like, here we go, we're doing it.
It's incredibly musically diverse, as you said. Like there are sets that look like something that you would do in your own music career,
Right.
And then there's like there's a Catalan love ballad you have to sing to a dusty window. Like it's just
Yeah.
it's incredible. For you as a performer though, like were you in like an ice bath 24/7? There's so much dancing.
There was a lot of dancing.
yeah.
There was a lot of jumping off of the bar,
Oh
and
my
hoping
gosh,
they'd
yeah.
catch you, and all of that. It was quick. It was challenging, but it was exhilarating for me. And like I said, I had been waiting my whole life to do it. There was not one complaint I had during the whole thing. It was just like, I think what I kept saying was, can I please do it again?
Yeah.
Yes.
And Bill was like, I have it. I said, please let me do it one more time. He's like, nope, we got it. I was like, okay.
And Bill, you obviously are such a master of this kind of category, but usually it's with IP that people have been very, very familiar with. And did you kind of like find it liberating to do something that maybe was lesser?
A little bit, and I had the model of the Cabaret movie, right? Because Cabaret is a great show. It was great before that movie. It's survived and had wonderful production since. But Fosse reconceived it as a movie, which meant it was kind of radically different from the show. And John Kander, I met with him and Terrence McNally, and they gave me immediate permission. Do what you have to do to make it into a film. So that one of the thrilling things, there are songs that Jennifer sings that Kander and Ebb songs that no one has heard, because I did this kind of archaeological dig and found songs that they'd written years before when they're first developing it that fit into the movie concept. So that was, there was something liberating. Yes, you're right.
Absolutely. And Tony T, there's an incredible number you sing called "She's a Woman."
Yeah.
Bawled my eyes out.
Beautiful.
But I don't think I've ever seen on screen. If you wouldn't mind, just maybe talk a little about what the number's about, and then also I don't think I've ever seen it communicated so clearly, just the desire and the longing in a really sweet and earnest way of someone who's struggling with either gender identity or sexuality. To me, it's like a blueprint of how we should be communicating these stories.
For sure, I think the beautiful setup, the framework of She's a Woman is that I get to play Melina and Kendall within that same song, right? And so it transcends all of the, many different people's experiences in the queer community as to how they deal with finding who they are and their level of authenticity. So from the Kendall perspective, it was like, how do closeted gay men who idolize beauty and stars of that time to lean into that? But then for Melina, I think there was something so much more deeper. It's an escape. It is a longing to be seen, and I think that the wonderful thing about our film and the gift that Bill has really given me as an actor is the ability to, within one context, express the spectrum, right? And allow one spirit to just transcend all of that.
And just the idea of that song and Diego in that scene, saying he doesn't understand. He's like, I want to be a woman, and and he's like, what do you not being understood?
Yes.
And I think the song puts it, like you said, in a very beautiful, soft, gentle way, expressing the emotions of what that must be like for someone, which is incredibly moving and touching.
Well, I'm glad that you brought up the Diego, because the lead into that moment, it's, I don't think Valentine intended to cause pain to someone. And I think that there are certain silent aggressions that happen, and when your spirit isn't strong enough to handle them, it almost hits harder, right? Yeah. But I think his intent on understanding someone and the inability to reach another person is something that is so relevant to parents and children, and that's what's currently happening, because I think that it's well-meaning people who are trying to love and understand each other, but they miss the mark, right? And so then how do we build that conversation, and how do we heal those moments.
Yeah, and I think certainly one way is to see something like this.
Yeah, literally that.
And also, just want to say too how encouraging it is to see cinematically. And I think we usually see those kinds of stories struggling with these kinds of issues. It's always in the context of like, this might sound indelicate, but like, okay, someone is a sex worker who's putting on a dress for the first time, or so like it's always riddled with trauma. It's always like a context of being like isolated or thrown out of the house for it, or they catch you putting on lipstick. And here it's this beautiful, genuine discovery. Even seeing you like put on La Luna scarves and singing to yourself in the mirror, like there's just something so innocent and really pure and honest about it.
Well, I do think that like, Molina knows who like he is.
Yeah.
It's more so of see me. And allowing the defenses to come
waiting for
down.
somebody to understand you and see you in the way
that you want to be
only
seen.
through the eyes of love that happen,
Yeah.
right? And that's why we have to be open to seeing other people and loving them for who they are and allowing them to be who they are.
Absolutely. Jennifer, I don't want to embarrass you, but there's already Oscar buzz for this movie.
Oh my
I hope
goodness.
you know that the internet and many of us at Variety are still horrified you were not nominated for Hustlers. What would it mean
Some
to
of
you
my
to get that
finest.
kind of recognition for this film?
I don't even want to begin the conversation. I just am so, like I said, being able to do the film is so great. Of course, I would love it to get the recognition that I believe that it deserves, because I think Bill wrote a script that for the first time in my life, I sat there and I was in bed. I remember reading it, and I started saying it out loud. I was saying the lines and saying, "Hey, it was in the listen to this. Oh my God!" and laughing and crying and going, "Oh my God, this is what I've been waiting for my whole life.
No.
My whole life. This is all I've ever wanted to do." I got into movies because of West Side Story and wanting to sing and dance and act. That's what I did. I sing musical theater, but that was what I thought I would always be doing. I thought I was going to do Broadway. I didn't even think I was, I wanted to do movies, but I didn't think about making records. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to do musicals. I love musicals, and my kids love musicals, and because my mother did, and it is just it was a dream fulfilled in having done the movie and having been so blessed to have someone as talented as Bill want me to do that. To me, that was like, wow, okay, I'm gonna kill this thing. I'm gonna do everything I can to make this the best. I just not let anybody down. So I'm very excited.
There's an interesting meta angle too, because does it strike you, and I'm not sure how much you look at this stuff, but does it strike you that there are little queer kids out there dressing up as you?
It's not weird at all. It's one of the things that I understood about the role that I think maybe other actors couldn't, is understanding what you mean to your fans when you sing music, when you do movies. Like, you mean something to them and you have a relationship with them where they save you and you save them. But they're also doing it for you. And they don't even understand that sometimes, how they get you through things that are so difficult. But they are always telling you, you got me through this, you got me through that. And understanding like Molina's relationship to Ingrid Luna is like, you helped me survive my life.
Is there a particular project of yours that comes up? You see a lot, an era, a song that people cling to?
I mean, there's so many things. There's specific songs. There's album cuts that were never hits that people will come up to me and say, this song or that song. There's movies, whether it's Enough, whether it's there's so many, things that people will randomly say, and I'm like, oh, you have, thank you. And then there's all the regular ones, Selena and Out of Sight and, The Mother, whatever, there's tons of them. But it's such a blessing, but it's that exchange, I think, that we captured there. And I wanted to do this one thing in Where You Are, which is a really big musical number that I get to do with Tona.
Yeah.
And I was like, can I please just hold him for a second? And can I say he's my sweetest fan? It's just like, you don't understand, like, we do this for each other. And that was a very special moment of exactly what you're speaking about.
Well,
And I just
please no.
I just got-
Where you
now you got us talking about it. Now we're out of control.
Yeah, exactly.
We won't
No,
shut
but
up.
one thing that was remarkable, we auditioned Molina's all across the globe. And I can't tell you, it was always the same scene, and it was always him talking about the diva, Ingrid Luna. And I was amazed in very, very different countries. People had their own picture of Jennifer Lopez that they would put up on their home videos, that it wasn't newly bought, it was there. It was incredible. So the relationship that Melina has to her exists in the world with you. It was incredible.
It's a very special relationship.
Mine
Your
would be the
relationship
wedding
with your
planner,
fans. I love my
It's weird because I know that I know you now
Yes.
under a completely
Yes,
different context, but entering that space, I mean, we've never talked about it because I've always felt like weird saying it, but you have been such a part of my lived experience. I think my mom called the police on me because I snuck out of the house to go to a Jennifer Lopez night in West Hollywood at 14. I sure did. I couldn't miss it.
What club?
I could not miss it. I won't say what club, because I'm gonna get in trouble. But
At 14!
but no, you
I'm dead.
You have such a place in our hearts as a community, and to share where you are with you. I don't think I could have expressed to what it felt like to hear you tell me after strikes, after COVID, come and join me and be here with me. Like I was living that moment. It wasn't even acting. I think I just had to be present to and witness the magnitude and the impact that you have had on me. And I'm so grateful to have just spent time with you and to have done this project with you. Yeah.
No, it's
We're so, I mean,
That's what I
we're
mean.
So thrilled for you.
That's
Last
amazing.
question. Speaking of the club, you were amazing at Tao last night.
Oh.
Set the club on fire.
Sit down, boo.
Talk to me about jumping.
Bye. You did that though. You got up there.
Listen, I had no intention of getting up there. I had been, I don't get out a lot, to go and have like a little fun night with friends. And the DJ was killing it. And it was a moment, and he called me up there, and I was like, I should have stayed in my seat.
No, ma'am.
No,
0%.
but I had such a good time.
Yeah.
And it was so much fun, and it was nice to kind of let loose for a
You're the
second.
reason I sound like Kathleen Turner, too.
Me
No,
too.
girl. Why do you think my voice literally is gone?
Yeah, we were screaming.
It was amazing.
God, we are so thrilled for you guys. Congratulations. Beautiful, beautiful movie.